Hello guys, Emmanuel from Geekception here, and today I'm going to be doing the 5-day review of the Alcatel Flash 2. Let's begin. And welcome back guys. Now for people who are new to this channel, essentially my 5-day review is a review where I actually use the phone every single day for 5 days, and at the end of each of every single day, I shall be recording what I feel about using the device. Okay guys, I'm actually going to start the video for a little while. I've actually finished editing right about now, and I've actually seen the length of the video and it's actually a bit long. So I'm going to leave jump lists to the certain days, like from day 1 to day 5 with what I reviewed on those days. So if you want to jump to them, you can jump to them without actually watching the entire video. And today is the first day that I use the Alcatel Flash 2, and although the build quality is really good and it feels really nice to hold because of that sandstone black, it's not the most slimmest of devices I've used in recent times. Something I did love, however, is the fact that it has a stock Android, so there are no custom skins that bug out the interface, which means that when I was actually multitasking with the Alcatel Flash 2, it was actually very smooth. There were hardly any lags or any delays in the interface. Coming back to the build quality, I would say the build quality is really good. You know, it's not a slim phone, but it's a phone that actually feels good to the touch. It's not all good though, because something I really disliked was the fact that the capacitive buttons actually go off even though you are still using the display. Essentially what that means is even while you're using the phone, the capacitive buttons go off, so you cannot actually see what you want to press, the button you want to press. And this can be especially troublesome, especially if you are in somewhere dark. Moving on to battery life, I got about 4 hours, 30 minutes of screen on time, even with about 40% of battery left. So when it comes to battery life, I would say the Alcatel Flash 2 is really good. Yeah, something I also have to tell you guys is the fact that it was on auto brightness. I didn't control the brightness settings at all. And today is the second day that I've been using the Flash 2. I did not really use the phone intensively today, but I've been consuming a lot of media, and I would say for media consumption, the display is pretty okay. The viewing angles were also pretty satisfactory, I would say. There was little color distortion from whenever you move the phone at different angles. But something I observed is the fact that the default color profile is actually a bit undersaturated. So I actually went to the settings and I changed it from the normal standard picture profile to the vivid profile, and I would say I saw some improvements. And moving on to the audio from the speakers, I actually ran a test, so listen to it. And coming from that test, you guys can actually see that because of the backfiring speakers, it's actually very tinny and it's not that loud. And something I did notice is that because the speakers are on the back, it's actually pretty easy for you to actually block them with your thumb. Something I did like about audio, however, is the fact that you can actually go to sound enhancement in the settings, and you can actually turn on some enhancement settings which actually improve the audio quality. And finalizing the day with battery life, I actually got 1.5 hours of screen on time today with about 45% left. So when it comes to battery life, the Flash 2 is really good. And today is the third day that I've been using the Flash 2, but something I noticed when using Snapchat was the fact that whenever I take a picture, it actually expands, and I don't know, I'm sure I'm going to be playing it out right about now. So every single time I took a photo, it usually expands, so I don't know what is wrong. And gaming on the Flash 2 was actually pretty good. I played 3 different games on the Flash 2, and all throughout the time I played it, I had no lags whatsoever, even on an intensive game like Asphalt 8. And gaming on the Flash 2 was definitely a pleasurable experience for me. And after playing the games for a while, I actually did take a temperature test of the phone to see if it heated up or not. And the maximum temperature I got was about 35 degrees, which I think is really good. So there's very little danger of overheating when you actually use the Flash 2 to play intensive games. And rounding off today with battery life, at about 11:40 p.m, I had 56% left on the battery charge with about 2.5 hours of screen on time, which I would say it's pretty okay. I mean, better than okay, it's pretty good actually. And today's the fourth day that I've been using the Flash 2, And I'm going to be talking about the camera today. Something I actually really like is the clean interface of the camera. Sliding to the left, there are different modes which you can select, with me having a few favorites. The first mode I like is super resolution. So basically, super resolution is it takes so many photos and overlays it into each other to have like super clear details. There's also this mode where it takes live photos, where when you take a photo, it actually records a few seconds. So when you want to actually view the photo, you can view that. You know, it's just something similar to what is on the iPhone. But quick tip, it came out before the iPhone, I think. I did take some video tests of the Flash 2 and I'm going to be playing them right about now. And this is a sample test of the camera of the Flash 2 outside, and I'm just going to just move around here a little bit. And yeah, that has basically been the sample test of the front camera of the Flash 2. And this is a sample test of the back camera of the Alcatel Flash 2, and I'm just going to go close there. Let me try to get some macro focusing, and I believe it has gotten focus. And I'm just trying to walk around to let you guys know how it is if you're recording while walking. I'm just going to point to the sky there, try to point down, and I would say it manages to expose well. I would say it compensates well, and that is basically it for the front back camera of the Alcatel Flash 2. And this is a sample test of the front camera of the Flash 2. I just have a window open right there, and yeah, as you guys can see, it actually meters properly and it tries to keep the exposure pretty good. And coming back to review the photos I took with the Flash 2, the main selling point of the Flash 2 actually from Alcatel is the fact that the camera is really good. And it's not something I can actually dispute, because taking a look at the photos taken by the Flash 2, they're very crisp, very saturated, very good dynamic range, and you know, it's just a very pleasant photo overall. And most of the times when I took a photo with this phone, I was pretty satisfied. Something else I like in the camera of the Flash 2 is the fact that there's something called Quick Shot. So basically, what is Quick Shot? Because the Flash 2 has a physical shutter button, you can actually enable Quick Shot, and what that gives you is the fact that when you press and hold the camera shutter button, even when the screen is locked, it actually takes a lot of photos, like a burst of photos, which you can then select which one you want to choose later. But it's not all good though. I really do not like the front camera. I mean, it's not total rubbish, but there is some sort of rubbish there, because you know, sometimes it was just plain bad. You know, it overexposed, and it was not just consistent, I would say. Sometimes it was really good and sometimes it was terrible, like I think I said in the first day or the second day of this review, especially when using third-party apps like Snapchat. And rounding off today at around 11:50 p.m, I had about 2.5 hours of screen on time with about 23% left. So I would say it's pretty good battery life, especially after intensive use for today. And today is the 5th and final day I've been using the Flash 2, and since the first day of this review I've been making phone calls with the Flash 2. And call quality, I would say, is pretty above average. Not the best I've used, but it's definitely okay for day-to-day use. Seeing that I did not use the phone a lot today, I only got about 3.2 hours of screen on time at about 11:54 p.m. with about 33% left on the battery, which is, I think, a pretty good result, as I've been saying since the first day of this review. And rounding off this Flash 2 5-day review, my pros for the device are the fact that it's got a very good build quality, especially that sandstone back, which makes it very good to hold. It's very grippy. It's got a very good rear camera. Yeah, very good rear camera, and it's one of the cleanest camera interfaces that I've used in a while. For a device that has a MediaTek processor and just 2 GB of RAM, performance was actually surprisingly very good. Apart from a few times where I loaded apps I have not used for days, most of the time switching between apps was snappy enough. And also having stock Android was actually a plus in my books. And when it comes to price, the Flash 2 is also surprisingly pretty good. Here in Malaysia, it cost about 549 ringgit, which if you convert to dollars is about $132, which is really good for the features you get. And in case you've not already noticed by now, battery life is really good. From the first day up until the 5th day today, I've actually not been able to run down the battery to 0% in a single day. It's not all good though. There are some cons I have to the device. such as the display. The display is kind of undersaturated, so I had to change the color profiles and the settings to vivid to actually be able to use the phone. And the front camera is really inconsistent. Sometimes it takes very okay photos and sometimes it's just a pixelated mess. So when it comes to the front camera, I'm not really sure. You know, sometimes good, sometimes bad. And that has been it for this 5-day review. I hope if you're still watching this video till now, you've enjoyed this video. You know, it's been a joy to use the phone for the past 5 days. And if you've liked this video, you can actually support me on Patreon. I shall leave the card right about now and the link in the description below to keep making these videos. Also, if you want to see behind the scenes, you can actually follow me on Snapchat and see as I shoot these 5-day reviews, and you can actually send me snaps back. Anyways, that has been it for this video. Don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up. You know, it actually helps me. I like it. Thumbs down if there's something you don't like in this video, which you can leave in the comment section, by the way. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future awesome, amazing videos. I shall catch you lovely people in the next video. Don't forget to be awesome. Bye.